What's up? I'm going to give my predictions on a possible big fight that's going to be coming up between David Benavidez and Jermell Charlo. Don't go anywhere. You're now tuned into Fight Click. Okay, so there's been a lot of back and forth going on between Jermell Charlo and David Benavidez. For some reason, Jermell Charlo just thinks he's going to run through Benavidez. He's even said he's going to knock him out in 2 rounds. I don't even know if this is a type of fad that's going on, because we've heard Ryan Garcia say that about Gervonta Davis. You know, he didn't even take the fight. So I'm starting to believe that maybe Jermell Charlo really doesn't want this fight. For him to say that he's going to knock out Benavidez in 2 rounds is just kind of ridiculous when you look at everything. So when you look at everything, you look at the last 3 fights that Benavidez had. He's knocked out all of the opponents, and they've been some tough opponents. Anthony Durrell, J. Leon Love, and Angulo. And if you look at the last fight against Angulo, Angulo's an unknown, not a good fighter. I think he's ranked 1 in Colombia. He's a Colombian fighter. And he's in the top 50 in the world in the super middleweight ranks. But he's not fought anybody. But if you look at how David Benavidez just dominated him, go check that fight out. He stopped him in the 10th round. His corner threw in the towel. He was just getting beat up really, really bad. Now, when you look at Jermell Charlo's last 3 fights, he's only had 1 TKO. The last fight that he had was against some tough competition in Derevyanchenko. This guy, gave Triple G a lot of problems. A lot of people thought he won the fight. And Jermell Charlo, beat him convincingly, unanimous decision. And he did a lot of good things in that fight. So when you look at just the last 3 fights that these guys have had, I would have to lean on, Benavidez having a little bit of a tougher competition with Anthony Durrell. But, he put him away. He knocked Anthony Durrell out in that fight. Okay? So, even though they're close in competition for the last 3 fights, David Benavidez his performances have been better than Jermell Charlo's. But not to take anything away from Jermell Charlo, because Jermell Charlo isn't, even though he's knocked a lot of people out, he doesn't really go in there looking for the knockout. Jermell Charlo is more of a setup puncher, counter puncher, but he has tremendous power. We all know that. But Jermell Charlo is very, very disciplined in the ring. Benavidez is not. And, even though Benavidez, beat his last opponent very handily, there was a lot of gaps in his game. If you watch that fight, you see that when he was punching, he left his chin wide open. If he does that against Jermell Charlo, Jermell Charlo will make him pay. Okay? Now, here's why Jermell Charlo's a little bit delusional when he thinks that he's just going to run through Benavidez. First of all, Benavidez is in a higher weight class. He walks around he's heavier, he's bigger than you. Not only does he weigh more than you, Benavidez stands about 6'2". Jermell Charlo's 6 foot. His reach is 77 inches. Jermell Charlo's reach is 73.5 inches. You can immediately see the physical differences between those two and where those physical traits benefit Benavidez. Not only that, when we look at the knockout percent, Jermell Charlo's 31-0. He's got 22 knockouts. Benavidez is 22-0 and has 20 knockouts. His percentage is 86%. Jermell Charlo's percentage is in the 70s. So, when you look at this statistically, Benavidez on paper looks better than Charlo when it comes to power. Benavidez and Charlo have comparative competition. I don't think any of them have really stepped up and fought a Class A fighter. I would say Benavidez probably has had the most difficult fight with Durrell, but it's very comparable in competition. But David Benavidez has been able to show that he can put his opponents away at a higher percent than Jermell Charlo. Now, the reason I believe Jermell Charlo, his percentage isn't higher is because Jermell Charlo's a counterpuncher. He doesn't go in there looking for the knockout. You don't really see Jermell Charlo go in there and get aggressive and get reckless. He's very, very disciplined. And for that reason, that's why I'm going to give Jermell Charlo the edge in this fight. Number one, because of his discipline. You know, and number two, because of his natural athleticism. Jermall Charlo can fight off his back foot. I believe that the arsenal of punches that Jermall Charlo possesses, we've seen that knockout against Julian Williams with that uppercut from that weird angle. I mean, we've seen Jermall Charlo, you know, knock people down with jabs. Jermall Charlo's arsenal of punches is, in my personal opinion, one of the best in all of boxing. I mean, this guy can throw punches from angles that are incredible and still generate a lot of power in those punches. And that's just because of Jermall Charlo's athleticism. I also believe Jermall Charlo's mindset and his discipline, once again, is going to be the deciding factor in this fight. You know, Jermall Charlo has never missed weight. He walks around lean and mean all year. He's very disciplined. We can see the difference between him and his younger brother. You know, he's usually the cooler one, calming down the younger brother, you know, speaking to him, you know, trying to talk him out of situations. You know, Jermall Charlo is very level-headed, very disciplined. He's a different type of fighter. And Jermall Charlo right now is 30 years old. He's stepping right into his prime right now. Benavidez is very young. He hasn't reached his prime yet. So when we're talking about, you know, overall experience in the ring, when we're talking about just natural strength that Jermall Charlo is going to have because of his age, you know, we talk about that old man strength. In that craftiness, I think Jermall Charlo has the edge there. But I definitely do not think Jermall Charlo should take this fight lightly. I think that David Benavidez is a very dangerous fighter. And if you make a mistake, he's going to make you pay. If Jermall Charlo comes in there and he's not as disciplined as he usually is, David Benavidez will capitalize on that, and it could be a very bad situation for Jermall Charlo. But once again, I would lean to Jermall. I know that he's the lighter guy, but you know, Benavidez walks around at 180, probably 185 is from his own admission. Jermall Charlo walks around about 175. He looks bigger to me, probably 180. I just think that the natural frame that Jermall Charlo has, he's very athletic, very defined. When you look at his body compared to Benavidez, he just, you know, he can cut that weight better than Benavidez can. I truly believe. But he can go up in weight too, and he can still generate and carry a lot of power as he goes up. So once again, you know, I don't think the weight difference is that much of an issue. I think it's the deciding factor in this fight is going to be just the discipline, the overall skill set that Jermall Charlo has, and his athleticism is, you know, would be a little too much for Benavidez, and not to mention that Jermall Charlo is in his prime. So once again, my prediction goes to Jermall Charlo. If you agree with me, leave a comment below. If you don't agree with me, you can still leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. If you like this video, smash the like button. If you don't, make sure you smash the dislike button. If you want some more content, please subscribe. I'm going to keep bringing my boxing analysis and really good content to you guys. And I appreciate you. Yo, I'm out of here.